Well, it's just probably like their technology was based on principles they learned in the Heart of Loricon, and when you destroy it and it leaves the hell do they call this world again? It's in that book. They have a name for their. I mean, Tamriel is the planet, but their mortal plane has a name, and I can't remember what it's called. I think it's called has something to do with the Nern. Yeah, Nern. Nern, some damn thing.
Nernroot.
But yeah, they. But they. Shoot. How to put this? See, this is me spurging, right? I mean, there's no reason any human being should know or care about this. I'm just like, as far as a lore is concerned, this is just really cool. I think it's really damn neat, honestly. And I wish like crazy I could be as creative like this. This is just such a trip.
Nothing wrong with that. With knowing these kinds of things. If they interest you.
It's really crazy. Like in one of the Morrowind expansions, you go to Almalexia's city. The hell is that called? It is the shoot. It was in the Tribunal expansion. You go to her city-state, and you go through the process of doing her little side mission. You eventually have to destroy her, but she talks about you being the Nerevarine, the reincarnated form of Nerevar. She starts dropping all the stuff that they did after Nerevar was defeated at Red Mountain, what became of the dwarves and crap like that, and it's kind of interesting how that all played out politically, because once again the Chimmer and the dwarves were at war for the natural resources one had that the other coveted. And then, of course, much worse than all of that, you had the problem with one being insistent on ancestor worship, which is still prevalent in the in the Dunmer culture. That's still here because the Chimmer became the Dunmer. That was Dagoth-Ur's problem. Dagoth-Ur said, "Hey, I'm going to keep the Heart of Loricon, and I'm going to make great magics with it." And as punishment for defying Almalexia, she made all the Dunmer turn as dark as the ash and their eyes as red as the glow of Red Mountain. And that was a hell of a damn thing to talk to as far as the story is concerned. I mean, imagine being marked in that manner, especially in a world where magic and the deeds of the gods are apparent and available for everyone to see.
Well, not only the deeds of the gods. Unless Vivek was a god, right?
Vivek is I want to call him a demigod because, see, the thing that Almalexia tells you that the books don't is that when they all roll up to Red Mountain, the official story is that Nerevar died of his wounds of the battle. Not true.
Oh.
Dagoth-Ur and Sothasil and Almalexia and Vivek took the Heart of Loricon and made themselves into gods.
All right.
They firmly connected themselves with the power of the Heart of Loricon and became as unto gods, basically demigods, because they don't have world-shaping powers. That's like Daedric princes and so forth. And yeah, you just get a straight-up ball kick right there. Not only are you the reincarnated form of Nerevar, but your old lady's trying to hook up with you, and she killed you the first time around. So I mean, destroying Almalexia in that second section is of no problem to me. Plus, she's already destroyed Sothasil, and at the end of the game, if you do everything, the only one remaining is Vivek, and Vivek talks about how he is losing power, his power is waning, and he would prefer at this stage to stop the whole religion thing that's kind of sprung up around him and just be a philosopher. And I didn't quite know how to handle that. I mean, what would you guys do with a demigod that basically admits to you, hey, I did this, I was wrong, and I don't want this anymore. Now I want to be just a guy that's trying to talk philosophy and maybe use what godly powers I have left to just, attempt to not be a bastard.
So he wants.
Well, you could kill him.
But
See, that's the thing. You could. In fact, you can use a soul gem and collect his soul if you want.
Yeah.
Then you can have his ungodly powers.
Not really. Unfortunately, the game mechanic doesn't let that. But there was a mod constructed to allow you to do certain things with his with his soul, as it were.
But the one thing I didn't really understand is well, actually, I found a book in Skyrim while I was playing about the Oblivion Crisis, which is the 4th game, I believe.
Yeah, Oblivion is the Elder Scrolls 4.
So, what the heck was going on in that?
In Oblivion?
Yeah.
Okay, well, the prophecy
Well,
of
I
Oblivion...
know the basic things about, they were trying to make portals to Oblivion somehow. And...
Not...
Really? Continue.
Well, okay, so it's the cult of the Dawn. I can't remember what the hell they're called. The Mythic Dawn. Yeah, that's right. The cult of the Mythic Dawn. These guys get it in their heads to start the problem that's basically going to be the crisis of the 4th era that will propel us into the 5th, which is what we're in Skyrim. The prophecy indicates that once Nerevar has returned and the heart of Lorikhan has been destroyed, an unusual shift in what had been established as a barrier between the world of Nirn, the physical world, Tamriel, and the world of Oblivion, which is where all the Daedric princes live,
oh, yeah, those
will
guys.
suddenly find a tear in it. Now, you can summon Daedra to our world with conjuration spells, but the conjuration never lasts. In fact, in this one, it's extremely difficult to conjure them, and you can't really even do it until relatively high levels, comparatively speaking. So the problem is that there's this force out there keeping your summoning from remaining within the world of Nirn, and that feature is this power. Now, this power is described and manifest as the fires of, the dragon fires inside the temple of the Imperial City, which is what Martin goes back to ignite, because the Emperor has been destroyed and no heir has been named. The Amulet of Kings, which is used in this particular act to light the dragon fires, now has no one to use it, so there's no way for these dragon fires to be relit. So in addition to the problem that the Heart of Lorikhan causes, and the inability to reignite the dragon fires, allows the jaws of Oblivion to open, which means now you can just bring Daedric shit into the world of Nirn, and it stays there. The separating force is gone. That's the whole reason why the Oblivion crisis occurred.
Huh. That sounds bad.
Oh, Jesus. Listen to me spurg today. Good Lord. There's no reason to know all this. Ugh!
Well, the Daedrics are pretty big in Skyrim as well, so it is something to know.
True. I admit to not having gotten into that just yet.
Oh, I got the
when I'm able to craft it.
Oh, you should meet who's the crazy guy?
Well, I walked
really
into
awesome.
I walked into this one city in the north, and in the inn, people were going insane because they were having nightmares. I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And then it's like this one guy was like, okay, I'm a spellcaster, so I can get into this area, but you need to trust me on this one. We have to destroy whatever is inside of it. Okay. And so we go in there, and we find out that he was a prince of, he was one of the He was one of the priests.
I've done this quest, yeah.
He was one of the priests of the Derek Queen of Nightmares. And so we were going down there to destroy the Skull of Dreams, or whatever it's called.
Yeah, that cult of Nimira.
And so basically, we go down there, and he's like, "We can't get through this barrier, and you have to drink this potion." And I'm sitting there just thinking about this. I'm like, "Huh, this is a potion that lets me do other people's lives." And so I'm just like going through the motions of what's the movie that came out recently about the guy who's hooked up to this one system because he's like half dead?
Oh, frickin' Inception?
No, source
No.
code. Source code.
What's
So it's kind of like
source code? Yeah.
So it's kind of like that, but you're going inside this random person's body. It's like, okay, you have to activate the switch to turn on all the sleeping gas that will keep all of these orcs that are invading us inside this building. And that's basically the people that you have to fight, a bunch of orc warriors that got stuck in there after they were put into a deep sleep for a couple years.
Oh yeah.
And along with a bunch of the priests that were inside there as well. And so basically you're just going through as this other guy. And so you're just going through and you activate the switch, and when you go back into your regular form, you're there. In that exact same spot holding the lever, and you're like, oh crap. As you turn off the barrier, and then you find out that guy was actually the guy that you've been following around. And so that guy caused all of that destruction that happened inside of this place. And so after you dispose of a couple of his old friends, he starts working a spell to destroy the skull. And the Daedric Queen goes into your mind and says, he's deceiving you. You should kill him.
Which, of course, she's lying.
Of course. I still took the skull, though.
Hey, Foxy.
And it's a staff eventually, right?
Yeah, it's just a skull. It's this really small skull and this staff that lets you hit people with 50 magic, but it goes down to 20 when it's empty. And the only way to refill it is by going to someone when they're asleep and stealing their dreams. Which is actually...
Oh, dude!
Yeah!
Yeah, that's 6 varieties of... Oh, man!
So you literally have to go up to someone and you have to pickpocket their dreams. It's kind of like the Ring. When you kill someone, you can actually take their skin and their heart and their brain and basically consume it for ingredients, which is actually kind of cool but cannibalistic, which is weird. But besides all of that, that's a pretty cool power. But the only problem is you did it in a favor of a Daedric Queen.
Oh yeah, something to concern yourself with. There.
Yeah, and so basically by doing that, I started
nightmares.
the quest to retrieve all the Daedric artifacts. And by doing that,
There's a quest for that?
Yeah, by doing that, it's kind of
achievement.
It's kind of a callback to what was going on in Oblivion. Just because by combining all of them together, you basically get the same powers that were happening in Oblivion. It's a very weird thing to comprehend, and all, but after contemplating it, it actually intrigued me. I'm like, huh, I may actually want to do this. Because this sounds cool. Because holy crap, one of the items that you get from the quest that's not really an artifact, it's called a skeleton key. Basically, it's a bone finger that when you stick it into any lock, it unlocks any door.
Oh hell yeah, that's a really nice one. What is that?
The skeleton key.
Not named Mira. Whose quest is that? Is that the Night Mother, isn't it?
I believe so.
God, what the hell's her name? Nocturne.
Yeah, Nocturne, that's it. But basically, by getting that key, you can unlock any door. And so you can finish the quest and give up the key, meaning that it's not a true artifact that you have to collect. Or you can keep the key, not complete the quest, and then unlock any door.
Well, that's a thing that you can do. You can also level up your lock picking skill eventually. So it's it's a thing. God.
It's a thing.
I'm just like all about like not letting the game get my goat. So I'm trying really hard to just be good at the little lock picking mini game because it kind of torques me off.